We all know Jimmy Kimmel and his funny twist to serious topics and antics, especially when it comes to politics. His main goal is to make people laugh, and while doing so, he talks about lots of different things, but he really likes talking about politics. Watching mainstream news channels, you might think politics is boring, but he shows how funny and silly it can be. Since 2016, Jimmy Kimmel has enjoyed poking fun at former President Donald Trump. When Trump first announced he wanted to be president, Kimmel couldn't resist making jokes about it. Back then, the idea of Trump becoming president seemed silly and something that didn't seem like the future of the USA, and Kimmel made sure to joke about it on his show. And just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, Kimmel dropped a bombshell of his jokes on Trump.
But the Trumps, every night they brush the children's teeth with hot dogs and they read them the lyrics.
When Trump became a serious contender in the 2016 election, many people were surprised, including Kimmel. But even when the unexpected happened and Trump won the election, Kimmel didn't stop making fun of him. In fact, having Trump as president gave him even more material to joke about. Trump was always making headlines with controversial statements and mistakes, and Kimmel never missed a chance to make good jokes about him. Well, Kimmel didn't stop before. He won't stop now. In the most recent part of the ongoing Kimmel making fun of Trump's story, Jimmy didn't avoid talking about the latest legal stuff involving the former president. More specifically, he talked about New York Attorney General Letitia James saying she'd take Trump's stuff if he didn't pay a big fine from his fraud case. Kimmel used one of Trump's famous sayings in his joke, showing off his funny and clever side on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I even thought, hey, maybe we won't talk about Donald Trump much tonight. And then he opened his mouth and all manner of stupid came out. And I'm not joking when I say I would feel more comfortable if Cersei Lannister was running this country at this point.
He joked that it'd be different to see a woman taking Trump's stuff for once. This joke was a direct reference to Trump's past comments about women, like the time he bragged about doing inappropriate things to them in a video from 2005.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I did her. She was married.
It's huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture.
Before entering politics, the former president had a troubled relationship with women. He often made comments that revealed his disrespectful views towards them. A significant example of this is his legal battles with retired Elle magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll. If you're not familiar with the details of these trials, let's delve into the background of the Trump versus E. Jean Carroll case. In the case, Trump was found responsible for sexually assaulting Miss Carroll in the mid-1990s, as detailed in her memoir published during his presidency. According to Carroll, she encountered Trump as she left Bergdorf Goodman department store on New York's 58th Street 2 decades earlier. Trump recognized her as the advice lady from her TV show and asked for her help in buying a gift for a woman. Carroll agreed, and they browsed through handbags and hats in the store. However, things took a dark turn when Trump suggested lingerie for his friend and took Carroll to the lingerie section alone. Despite initial hesitation, Carroll went with Trump to the dressing rooms, thinking it would be amusing if she convinced him to try on lingerie. However, this is when the alleged assault occurred. As Carroll claims, the moment they entered the dressing room and the door closed, Trump jumped on her and pushed her against the wall. She was stunned as she hit her head and was not yet fully aware of the seriousness of the situation she had gotten herself into. As he didn't feel any resistance, Trump went ahead and started removing Carroll's clothes while also undressing himself. In the first trial between them in May 2023, the jury unanimously ordered Trump to pay Carroll $5 million for both the assault and defamation. Trump didn't hold back in insulting Carroll on his Truth Social platform, calling her accusations a con job, hoax, and lie. Luckily for Trump, this trial was civil, so there was no risk of criminal punishment like prison time. A second civil trial recently ended between Trump and Carroll, with the jury finding Trump guilty of defamation and awarding Carroll a substantial $83.3 million. This amount was much higher than the initial $10 million sought for the damage to Carroll's reputation due to Trump's statements. This verdict showed the serious consequences of attacking people on a public platform, even for someone as prominent as a former president. just one day after the verdict of the first trial was decided. Trump subjected Carroll to a barrage of abusive messages on his social media accounts and during his speeches in front of thousands of people. This also led to Carroll receiving death threats from his followers. Trump showed no signs of remorse despite being found guilty. He tried to downplay Carroll's claims. He also insisted that the verdict had no negative effect on him, suggesting that his poll numbers even rose in the aftermath of what he labeled as yet another fake charge manufactured by his political opponents, like the Democrats. Expanding on his teasing of Trump, Kimmel went further to mock the former president by humorously imitating Trump's speech, joking, "Let me tell you, when you're the Attorney General, they just let you do it. No questions asked, you simply confiscate. You grab him by the property." By using Trump's own words in his satire, Kimmel added an ironic twist, highlighting the contrast between Trump's past actions and the potential legal consequences he faces now. But Kimmel's focus on political figures wasn't the only interesting part of his recent shows. At the start of the week, Kimmel revealed he was facing his own legal troubles. He mentioned a fraud lawsuit filed by George Santos, a former congressman who's also been a target of Kimmel's jokes. This lawsuit came from personalized messages Santos sent to Kimmel's show through the Cameo app, which lets people buy videos from celebrities. This mix of Kimmel making fun of Trump's legal issues while dealing with his own lawsuit shows how humor, satire, and the legal system can all intertwine in today's media landscape. Kimmel's jokes about Trump demonstrate his skill at using humor to talk about important issues. His own legal situation reminds us of the risks of making jokes in public. Santos said he was fooled into making the Cameo videos. Supposedly, people from Kimmel's show gave him silly scripts to read and even gave him a credit card number to pay him. Of course, he recorded the messages and sent them back. He was getting paid after all, but now, a legal battle has arisen from this situation. Santos claims they tricked him by pretending to be fans asking for personal videos, only to then show them on national TV. Santos objects to them using fake names for this sneaky plan. According to the lawsuit, Kimmel pretended to be someone else to get Santos to make the videos. Allegedly, Kimmel's only reason for this was to make fun of Santos on live TV. To make matters worse, Kimmel boasted about tricking Santos during the national TV segment. He even joked about the irony of Santos suing him for fraud because of the videos, calling it a dream come true. Well, that dream has come true for Kimmel, but we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Despite the upcoming legal fight, Kimmel didn't seem bothered. He even found a funny side to the situation, comparing it to a made-up scenario of being sued for paternity by Nick Cannon. This ridiculed Santos's claim of being misled. Shifting attention to Trump's legal troubles, Kimmel talked about the heavy fines Trump got in his civil fraud trial. He pointed out the main problem. Trump messed with how much his stuff was worth to get loans, but said they were worth less for taxes. Trump's recent claim on his Truth Social account that he actually undervalued his stuff instead of overvaluing them made Kimmel criticize him even more. Kimmel took the chance to make a joke about Trump's ability to pay the huge sum, which has now grown to around $450 million with interest, despite Trump claiming his assets are worth more. Now, let's dive deeper into the details of the Trump Organization's civil fraud trial, which led to these hefty penalties. Attorney General James launched an investigation into the Trump Organization after noticing some suspicious things in their financial statements. Her investigation paid off when she uncovered widespread financial fraud. The company had been lying about how much their properties were worth to get advantages. One notable property in question was Trump's beloved Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida. Attorney General James's investigation revealed that Trump claimed Mar-a-Lago was worth a staggering $739 million, while its actual value was a much more modest $75 million. Such a huge gap suggests some shady dealings within the organization, akin to claiming a 2-story house is a sprawling 100-acre mansion. In September 2022, based on these findings, James filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump, his 3 eldest children, former CFO Alan Weisselberg, former controller Jeffrey McCahon, and 10 related companies. The case went on for years with many significant developments. Finally, this month, Justice Angeron delivered his verdict, declaring the Trump Organization guilty of financial fraud. He also noted the defendant's failure to take responsibility or implement internal controls to prevent future instances of submitting fake financial values for properties to gain advantages from lenders and tax officials. Donald Trump and his companies were fined a base amount of an estimated $355 million, not including interest. That could raise the value even more. In addition, the former president's two sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, received penalties of $4 million each, while Alan Weisselberg was fined $1 million. All four men and Jeffrey McCahon were banned from taking high positions and leading any organizations within New York for up to 3 years. Meanwhile, Weisselberg and McCahon were given additional punishments, being permanently forbidden from assuming financial control in any such organizations. Notably absent from the verdict was Trump's daughter, Ivanka. She avoided similar sanctions as her family members and associates because she was removed as a defendant in 2023 due to an expired statute of limitations. Despite these penalties, Trump faces significant financial setbacks mandated by the court. Within a short time frame of 2 months, he has experienced 2 major legal defeats, the first being the aforementioned loss to E. Jean Carroll. The mounting fines from these cases, along with Trump's other legal battles, pose a significant challenge to him and his company. The financial strain may even lead to the once prosperous businessman filing for bankruptcy. Despite the gravity of the situation, Kimmel's clever humor and insightful commentary provided entertaining yet thought-provoking insights into the latest developments in both politics and pop culture, captivating his audience with his sharp wit and adept wordplay. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.